But I did what you said. Really? Roll the intro. Greetings and welcome to the Contracting Guy. I am the Contracting Guy, and today's topic is exciting because it goes down to the most fundamental aspect of government contracting or contracting in general between buyer and seller. The buyer has put out their needs and the seller has to respond. And this is where the rubber meets the road. Recently, I was asked to take a look at this relationship, the buyer-seller relationship, particularly in the area of solicitations, particularly in the focus on responses. The question that was, well, why do small businesses fail to get to the next step? So I've done a lot of thought to this. I've called a number of people and I researched a few things. And it came down to two things. Two. Those two things are, hang on, wait for it. It is read the solicitation and follow directions. What? Is it as simple as that? The criticism I have heard from federal, state, local, educational, all of these entities say this is where we generally lose our small businesses. Not because they can't perform the work, is that they won't read the solicitation or follow directions. Now that is critical. You think about it, said, how would you like to just be excluded just because you're just a bonehead? You have to read the solicitation. Why? Because that's what you're going to be bidding or proposing against. That's what you have to do. The second one is it says follow directions. And here's the key. If you're following directions in the solicitation from what it said. Also, you're following directions if the contracting officer or whoever the procurement official is giving you some advice and direction. In fact, it's more like direction rather than advice. Is saying that you have to do this. Now, if you don't do that, you're going to more likely than not be tossed aside. Now, these are all, you think, well, that's really simple. The contracting guy. Why is this the top two? Well, it's because so many people do it. So many small businesses fail to get to the next step of evaluation because they are excluded by they implode. They self-select, or was it more like self-deselect? Says I don't want you to select me at all, so I'm going to take all the time and effort in the world to create a solicitation response, a proposal or bid, and only to have the government or some entity turn me down because I chose not to A, read the solicitation, or B, or both, not follow directions. Again, when you say, well, I'm sure that that's not me, and this is probably, maybe it isn't, but I can tell you there is sufficient information out there, sufficient comments from professionals in the buying side of the house that said, yeah, I probably would have selected him if they would have followed directions or if they would have read the solicitation. I probably would have selected him. So don't deselect yourself. Don't remove you from the competition just because you didn't pay attention. Spend time reading the solicitation and spend time following the directions. And those directions can be as simple as make sure that you submit your bid or proposal on time at this location. Probably a pretty big deal if you're going to be considered. This is not rocket scientist stuff. Many people do it right. So why are you doing it wrong? This is the Contracting Guy. I'm out. Thank you for watching The Contracting Guy. Please like, subscribe, and share the video. We'd appreciate that. This is The Contracting Guy. I'm out.